Hey y'all. What's the vibe? What's going on? For my regulars, welcome back to the channel. And if this is your first time bumping into me, I'm Bishalee. Hey, welcome. I have a message for the day, baby. And it was heavy in the meditation. It was heavy in the meditation. And so for those of you who this is your first time, I want to say that this channel is all about spirituality. I have a 35 video series from very first video to 35, and this is, I believe, 31, wherein I am dealing with the past as far as my backstory and what I had to say before I get into spiritual teaching. But it was heavy in my meditation that I explain the difference between, what shall I say, the title of this video is the difference between thank you and gratitude. So that's the title of this video, but I had to explain the difference. There is a major difference, and I didn't realize it until I hit my spiritual awakening. I hope that those that bump into this channel have either gone through their spiritual awakening or is going through and trying to navigate through. That's the point of this, is to tell my story, and hopefully it will help you along the way. And then we will get deeper and deeper into where I'm going with this whole channel. But I must speak these things into the ether. I must allow you to come along this journey with me, although I have broken through. And a lot of people don't know what breaking through actually means. A lot of people haven't broken through yet. And so that's the reason for this channel. But this title of this video is very near and dear to me. Understanding the difference between thank you and gratitude. For years, I've always believed in God. I do not believe in church. I do not believe in religion. I do not believe in denominations. I do not believe in going to a pastor for guidance. I don't believe in any of that. And that was figured out at 18, that I realized that that person is a man, and I only had a man or a woman, and only has the capacity of their mind. And one thing that prompted me to kick off my channel, because I knew that I was going to have a channel, a podcast. I knew that I was going to do this over 2 years ago, but then I hit my spiritual awakening, and, or shall I say, my dark night of the soul. And what that is when your soul is trying to figure out what's the purpose of being here. Many people over many lifespans, many generations have tried to figure it out. What am I here for? What is, lots of people put it like, well, what is God doing to me? God is trying to tell me something. And it's just, it's a age-old question. And so I hit my dark night of the soul, and it didn't last for long, because I propelled myself into knowledge. So listening to everything, motivational speakers, I just because in the 3D, in human form, you do what you know to do. So my know to do, at first it was music. And I was like, okay, that ain't pulling me out. Okay, motivational speaking. Okay, that ain't pulling me out. Okay, spiritual learning. Okay, that's kind of, it's almost there. Then metaphysics. Then it's like, oh. And so if you look at some of those topics and you tap into some of those things and get by yourself and listen to some of those things, I'm not here to teach metaphysics. I'm not here to teach yoga or anything like that. I'm here to navigate a person through their spiritual awakening and hopefully teach spirituality to someone from a beginner's level. And so the topic, gratitude versus thank you, is near and dear to me because for years, for my entire life, even though I'm not a churchgoer, I continue to say thank you. Thank you. Every day. All day. That was one of my prayers. Every day, all day. When I would understand what was going on, when I would see the movement, one of the things I teach is when we look at the Bible, it's very hard for me to speak about spirituality without bringing up the Bible, because the Bible is the first tangible object that I can use that talks about the spirit. So when I went in and started learning about spirituality, I was like, oh man, the Bible talks about the spirit. So let me go look in there. And the way the universe works is when you're going through anything, when you're going through something, it is going to circumnavigate whatever you have going on. So, and it's going to drop messages. You will have messages, synchronicities, until you actually find out or figure out what I used to call it was confirmation. Oh man, that's confirmation to me. So I went back to the book and I started realizing that this book can be quadruple taught. That's the reason why so many different denominations. And you can tell I use it, but now I use it as a tool, opposed to trying to live it, opposed to trying to God, at first it was like a navigation tool through life, and now it's a navigation tool to my spirit. So understanding that the book is full of fables and parables and things that you are not going to necessarily understand, but when you break it down and you get your spiritual teaching and understand that you have to break down all of this stuff that has been put into your mind. The reason why it was sort of easy for me is because I didn't believe in religion anyway. But for those that are knee deep in religion, knee deep in, going to church every Sunday and on these committees, and who just, I realized how strong religious people are, because they would be like, you need to find a good church home. You doing good, and I was like, no, I don't. Like, no. Well, you still need to come in fellowship. No, I don't. Once you realize that place is filled with spirits, and if you have not protected your spirit, that's a major thing, is to protect your spirit. If you have not protected your spirit, you are now in direct contact with transference of energy and spirits. And you went out there You in there. You're taking on all types of energies. You're taking on, I realize I can't do that. Like, I can't take on all of these different spirits because every person has a spirit. And that's what people don't understand. That every person has a spirit. And they are inundated with different spirits every single day. And so now you just put yourself in a place with 100 different spirits and you have no protection because you are open to whatever is being spoken or whatever is being done, whatever is being transferred. So when I say thank you, I said thank you every single day, all day, for 20 years. I wouldn't even necessarily pray because I saw the power of God moving in my life. So my prayer was thank you. My prayer was I was seeing him show up. I was seeing him show up. And my prayer was, sorry about that. That's my lighting. Wardrobe malfunction. I was seeing him show up. So I was like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But when I got into spirituality, it was like, show gratitude. And so I was like, oh yeah, gratitude is thank you. Yeah, it is. It's not. It is not. Because we begin to habitually, I don't know about you, but I began to habitually say thank you. Thank you is a word. Gratitude is a feeling. Once I was able to differentiate that religion speaks of basically showing up. So if you at church, if you fellowshipped, if you tithe, if you walk out of there sometimes so filled, and then you don't even know where to disperse it through your life. You don't even know how to use that. By Tuesday, you need another fix. So then you go to choir practice or practice for liturgical dance team or you need religious counseling or something. It's like I realize in spirituality, which is basically getting to source, the Father. Best way that I can describe it. Being that there is a power in which created you and all of these things around me. My baby Celeste right there. God created that. Yeah. So understand there's a power of creation that is there for you. But we were taught to say thank you and to praise. Okay? And that goes into my other, my next video. So I'm not going to get into it now. But we were taught to thank him and praise him. So I'm saying you have to show gratitude because gratitude is a feeling. Not just thank you. Oh, Lord, thank you. It has become so common. It's become so natural. It's become so flippant. Oh, God, thank you. All right. Ooh. Thank you for showing up for me today, Father. It's become like uh we get the green light and we thank God. We get you know, the lights go out at work and you thank God. you know? So it's like I said, it's flip it. And there's no, not saying always, I'm saying there's no emotion behind it. And once you tap into spirituality and metaphysics and what these things are teaching, it's saying you have to feel. So the book says it, God searches the heart. Source searches the heart. And then what are you thinking behind what's in your heart? So these two entities, heart and mind, have to become one. And until it becomes one, you will get little bits and pieces of the power. That's the best way to describe it. I don't think I've ever said it like that. You will get bits and pieces of the power because a lot of times most religious people communicate with their mouth. Now, I can say, "Oh, God, thank you. Oh, thank you." But until you realize that God don't speak English, you know, and I don't know what people be saying in tongues, but unless your heart and mind is matching it, it doesn't register. You know, I've heard it said so many times before. Your praises or your blessings are, or your prayers are, they stop at the ceiling because you have to feel. So now what I do is when I'm just going to share a practice that I do with you is I get up in the morning and first of all, I had to get closer to source. Meaning I had to go out in nature. And it was almost like God was kind of leading me to do that because I was doing stuff that I would never really, I'm a city girl. So I'm like, I'm used to the concrete jungle, you know? And so Source was kind of leading me to do those things where I'm out in nature. I cannot stand. I remember worst day ever, God took me fishing. I was literally upset. Who are you talking to? Yeah, I was, let's go. And I don't know why you thought that I would like this. But anyway, so I'm not a nature girl, but just getting out. So I'll share a practice with you. I wake up in the morning, I open all the blinds, and I look out at the trees. And as I get more connected to this one little tree in front of my living room, in front of my picture window, it makes me realize Source knows every leaf on that tree. So in the back of my house, there's a wall of trees. And baby, when it get windy, that whole thing be like speaking to me almost. I meditate sometimes just watching those leaves blow in the wind. Walking outside in nature, getting sun, sun gazing. Sun gazing is something you can do 1 hour before sunset. You can look directly into the sun. You can get those energies. Moon gazing. Lots and learning that nature, being closer to nature will get you closer to source. Because what do? We're in our houses, we're in our cars, we're listening, and when I say closer to source, sometimes just be in silence. It was something that I had to do. It was a practice that I had to do because I was able to open my heart. When I was able to appreciate things that God gave us and not just overlook everything and not think that everything it's just for my taking. I can just do what I want. And when I started to fall into my spiritual process and I was breaking through and I was having my awakening, I was like, it started to weird me out because the more open my heart became, the more I would attract wildlife. So I would go outside and little bunnies are sitting in the backyard. And I'm like, these little ducks would come to my door every day. I would have like a cardinal sitting outside. And it's like, what's going on? I remember a bee followed me one day. And usually I would be like, get away. Oh my God. But it literally just followed me. I was taking out garbage. Followed me to the trash can. And I'm like, what do this bee what do this bee want? You know, because it wasn't bothering me. But I can see it like in the shadow and it literally followed me back up to the house, to the door. And my neighbor looked out and she said, who you talking to? And I said, I'm just praying. Because I was saying, oh, thank you, Father, for letting me experience that where I didn't go all crazy and, oh, get off me because I don't do bugs. I don't do bugs. So just watching, like one day, a finch, which is a yellow bird, I had the door open and it was like literally in the middle of the sidewalk, just serenading, just singing his little heart out, honey. And I was like, God. So it was like I was understanding how how God's source, this power was communicating with me, was showing me like I hear you. And so that came with gratitude. That came with me opening my heart and understanding that it's not about thank you. You know, I'm your Father. I'm spirit. I'm source. I'm power. Enjoy what I'm giving you. Yeah, it don't seem like much. It's not a Benz, but look at that. Look. So I implore you to open your heart and give gratitude. Mean what you say. Don't just say it because it's something easy to say or, you've been saying it forever. Once I experienced having gratitude and opening my heart, my life changed. So you'll hear a whole bunch of stuff about what changed my life, but thanks for coming with me down this path. I appreciate you. And I just want to have a little talk on this Friday night. Yes, it's Friday, honey. So you already know. Had to get up here though. I love you.